We all heard the first sound of war the same way. A siren going off. The war broke into our lives with a jarring G-note, shattering the harmony of our world. And then came the explosions. The quiet of dawn was ripped apart. It was a shock that will forever stay in our memory.
So it has begun. Russia has attacked Ukraine, unleashing war in Europe. Constitution Square lies in ruins. American patriots failed to hold the ensembles. 2 hospitals have been damaged. The world is shocked. The train station is being evacuated.
Each of us remembers the first day of war. It wailed with sirens, the whistle of missiles, the cries of children, and the silence of basements.
2 waves of drone attack, lasting more than 7 hours. Large air-launched munitions beyond the reach of Ukraine's air defenses.
These are not from the debris of a downed missile. The Russians destroyed the whole of culture in Kharkiv.
The invaders dropped a bomb on a drama theater, where at least 1,000 civilians had taken shelter. Clearing the rubble is now impossible as the city remains under bombardment.
447 civilian bodies, 194 women and 5 children.
Now I'm standing amidst the ruins of a hall of culture. Once it was alive with music, laughter and applause. But now it's only smoldering. Rubble remains. To me it's a symbol of how Russia seeks to reduce our culture to dust. But war is not only on the battlefield, it's also a fight for the right to be heard.
The news of the invasion reached me while I was at home in Sicily. With each passing minute, my anxiety grew. In just a few weeks, I was meant to travel to Ukraine to perform my Concerto No. 1 Ukrainian in Kharkiv. And then, everything stopped at once. I learned that Kharkiv, too, was under fire.
I joined the armed forces, and in my very first year I came to know the pain of losing friends and brothers in arms. Murzik was the first to die, then Denis, and then Andriy. No one had prepared me for this, yet death and grief became the part of every single day.
I lost contact with many musicians in Ukraine I had once known. Phone calls and messages went unanswered. I knew they were living through horrors. And Serhiy was there now, in the heart of that terror and pain.
In 2022, I tried to run away from music entirely. But slowly, in the quiet of that grief, sound began to sprout. I remember the exact moment when it came back. Dr. Kapler and I found an old piano in the morgue. Right there, amid the cold and the stillness, I touched the keys again for the first time. It is a little out of tune, but very soon I'm gonna learn the song. This song was written by Vlad, just for our assault brigade.
I couldn't write music. Every pause pained me. I had to play more quietly, because in every note, in every pause, I felt and heard the breathing of those who had been killed.
I wrote to Vlad Solodovnikov, asking him to compose music for Shevchenko's Fight and You Shall Win. And so he did overnight.
The Ukrainians are fighting for their European choice, for the right to be themselves. Their struggle is a testament to a nation that preserves itself even in the fire of war. I often draw parallels between Ukrainians and Italians. Our melodies are simple and human, but they're always infused with strength.
This is how music expressed our fury.
In our fight, and you shall win, the sound of a single voice swells into a full orchestral tutti. It is as if one person is standing against all the evil that has descended upon them. It is a tension that builds. And in the third movement of the piece, we feel the very essence of that energy long held within.
Fury is not a scream, but our freedom. It gathers into a single force, focused, disciplined, and driving forward. I saw it in the eyes of my brothers in arms, in those who pressed on despite exhaustion and fear. And I heard the same force in the music of Boris Latoshinsky. In 1942, he composed his Prelude for Piano, and 80 years later, we performed it in a new, symphonic arrangement, as proof that even in war, music doesn't vanish, it becomes a weapon.
It seemed as though war had no place in my music. Many called it the music of the soul. I wrote my Concerto No. 1 Ukrainian before the war. The score remained unperformed, as if waiting for its moment. And just before the first performance in Kyiv, Serhiy wrote to me, "Gabriele, there's a military march in the finale. How did you know?" Perhaps, sometimes, music can sense history before it happens.
Struggle is when music and arms sound together, when the march in the score and the footsteps on the ground beat as one. We fight not only for land, we fight for the right to be heard.
Ведем бій. Прийняли бій. Міна!
Ukrainian music is vital. For me as a musician, performing Ukrainian music is a true honor. It's hard to find anything comparable in world music. Every country has its own zest, but Ukrainian music, to my mind, is an entire garden. Our job is to show that Ukraine is not broken. Ukraine is fighting, and at the same time, Ukraine is working and moving forward. Music is born from all our sufferings that we feel during missile attacks, during the Russian invasion. Take, for example, Vlad Solodovnikov's work. This concerto is dedicated to the war. It is the concerto for a surviving piano. Within it lie our sufferings, a spectrum of emotions, our struggle and resilience. All of these qualities are shown in the music, and I strive to convey them to the listener. None of my works has transformed as profoundly as the concerto for a surviving piano. For one thing, it was originally called Concerto for a Broken Piano, but then I saw footage from the city of Izium, where a piano stood alive amid the ruins of a completely destroyed house. This gave me such hope that I completely shifted the focus of the piece and renamed it Concerto for a Surviving Piano. This is our resistance, and music, even in the face of inevitable, unbearable pain, still offers hope, a hope to keep living.
The war has revealed a new voice for my people. And one of these voices is Viktor Kosenko's Sonata No. 3. It was written over 100 years ago, in a time of our struggle for freedom. And we hear it today anew, played by a symphony orchestra.
Ukrainian symphonic music stands apart from others, as it carries the defining features of the Ukrainian people's mindset, its consciousness and spirit, such as resilience, for example.
Russia wanted us erased, but here we are, and we are heard. Every note today is a heartbeat that sounds its way through the ruins. It's a pledge that we will endure. Ukraine is sounding, and the world will hear our voice of freedom.